Hello and welcome to Minnesota Comics Authority. Here I'm doing an unboxing of my issue of Foreign Agent. And I have here the box that it came in and also Narwhal's other book that came out before this. If you're not familiar with Narwhal, Narwhal is a comic book creator. I think he's only done like two things, both on Indiegogo. The first being Earthbound. And Earthbound was just a really engaging story, a fun world that he built up really quickly and successfully. It feels like a real world. Nothing seems contrived. He just did a very good job, and he has a style that is deceptively simple when you look at images like this, where it's just like a close up and a guy's face, and you think, well, look, I mean, this is like this this is something even beyond like clean line style. This is even simpler than that, and you might think that until you start seeing his composition and the movements of people. Things feel like they have a real flow to them, um, like that, where he gets like real kind of wacky with the illustrations, and it looks more cartoonish. Um, but it feels like when you draw somebody carrying something, that thing has weight, and it's he's just a very very talented person. Um, anyway, so it was to me after reading this, it was a no-brainer to back Foreign Agent. I was a little bit bummed out because there was limited hardcovers, and sometimes I drag my feet when it comes to backing creators, and because of that, I miss out on things like the hardcover because this is beautiful. It has that like spot UV or whatever that is, where it's like gloss here and then matte all around it. It's just very beautiful, well designed. But anyway, here I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to check out what's in this, because this is one that I just sort of backed and I didn't really pay much attention to. Um, just because it's like I kind of know what I'm going to get, and I'm happy with that. I'm not like super motivated by perks, um, depending on who it is. So here we go. Um, is this a sticker? We got a sticker with, that's the guy from Earthbound. That's the main character from Earthbound, whose name escapes me this moment. The 13th sponsor, Bounder, Narwhal Mafia. And so the 13th sponsor, this again is a reference to Earthbound. The recipient of this card is hereby deputized as a Bounder in the better interest to greater glory for the 13th sponsor. Present this card to the gatekeeper at the threshold for safe passage into the ward. Report recruited contenders to Narwhal for bounty issue. Well, I don't want to lose that. Here's like just a very nice print. And this is a character from Foreign Agent. I don't know what this is. This is a painting. Anyway, did he sign that? Is that? Hey, he has his little signature there, Narwhal. So Foreign Agent. This is, he did this. That first one that he did, the first book that he printed, that hardcover, very high quality. And like just looking at this, there's something on this that a lot of people don't have done. And I don't know why, because it like to me it does make a difference. It adds like a level of finish and quality. And that is, here you can kind of, if I catch the light right there, the cover is scored right before the binding. So that when you bend this, it gives right here rather than going all the way back to the binding to bend. So I really like that. It's something it's something small, but it's, I think, something pretty cool, and it's, I don't know, it shows an attention to detail. So we have the thanks. Hey, was I thanked? No, of course I wasn't, because I didn't back very high, and I'm not Ethan Van Sciver or John Malin or Joe Engel. Now, obviously, I just opened this up, so I haven't read it. I'm going to hit pause, and I'm going to finish this video once I finish reading this. So I have spent, I think last night before, reading through Foreign Agent, and as Von Klaus says on the back of this, it is so freaking good, and it is like a good foreign film that I can't turn off, except for the fact that I did say that I split this up over 2 nights reading it, and that's I did that on purpose. I think that Narwhal's books do read pretty quickly. His previous book, Earthbound, is split into, I think there's like a few sections that it's split into, and I think that they have like very natural breaks within it. I don't think it's like chapters. It's like sections or something. But so I chose to stop reading and pick it up the next night. This one too has chapter breaks, and it's I kind of wish I would have stopped, given each chapter a night, because there is a lot to think about. There's a lot going on, and Narwhal is a really great storyteller. You hear on live streams and stuff that he appears on, or when people are talking about him, and people use the term genius. And I mean, I don't know what a genius is when it comes to storytelling or making comics, but I do know what works for me, and I know what I like. And Narwhal has an exceptional spatial awareness, so that when he is creating scenes and environments, he is aware of where characters are, where they're going, and how to set that up. And so I think part of this gets into the fact that, he's mentioned before that his style is referred to as cinematic a fair amount. And, he says, well, that can kind of be derogatory, maybe not necessarily a positive thing. But I think that most people, when they describe his work as cinematic, they do that. And I think it's for a few reasons, one of which is when he builds scenes like this. This is, I don't think that this is very spoilery, but the two soldiers are in the house, and there is, I'm sorry, it starts on this page. Okay, so the girl is in this sort of like back room with a rifle. Time passes. And then you see her beginning to move from one area to another. And it's a blink or you'll miss it type thing. Down here, you see her looking in the window. Then we get a shot of her on the outside looking into the window. And so we can imagine that she's moving around the house. And then she comes in this door. So she was on this side. If you're imagining this room, she was over here. She moves through, appears at that window, keeps moving on, and comes in that side door and draws on them. And so it's little things like that that feel very cinematic. And I think that is perhaps what people are referring to when they talk about his storytelling. He's also, he has that cinematic eye as far as like a page layout. He does a fantastic job of doing low angles, high angles in a way that doesn't look comic booky. It looks realistic. And I think that might be that sort of cinematic thing that people are talking about. If you see like some issues of Batman where he's standing on the gargoyle and it's like, wait, this angle doesn't really work. But in superhero comic books, exaggerated proportions or angles that maybe aren't even possible in real life are acceptable. But I think Narwhal's art style, although like very kind of sketchy, or like not even sketchy, like loose and fluid, it is grounded in reality. And I think that is what makes him such a great storyteller. The other part that I absolutely love about it is his dialogue. If you've, yeah, I'll hold on. So the dialogue seems very natural, and he's able to capture, especially like the two main characters. It is clear from dialogue alone and the way they interact with each other that they've known each other for a very long time. They feel very comfortable with one another. It is not. It doesn't feel stilted. You don't get like in a lot of comic books where people try to get big brain about it and fill up pages with just bubbles and bubbles of text. When was the last time you had a conversation with a friend where you let them finish more than two sentences before jumping in? It doesn't happen. That's not how conversations happen. You don't get to go on a monologue without somebody chiming in. And so there's that element that feels grounded in his storytelling. If you've watched any of his live streams, you know that he puts a lot of thought into his storytelling and the structure of story, and he has a lot of knowledge about how to structure stories, and it shows on stuff like this. Stories like the backup story in Earthbound, especially the Naked Samurai, is an amazing story, which hopefully we get more of, because this is another one that is just beautiful, and I would really like to see him using color some more. I think that would be pretty cool. Now, here's something. I have a gripe about this, and I don't know. I haven't like really gone through, what do you call it, Earthbound in a while, but it's this house is like 3D drawn. It's like 3D animated or something, like a 3D model, but it's really low poly, and in a way it works, but also in a way it doesn't work, because he has this amazing style where it's like, look at how it, like, the light kind of folds over itself. It's just, I don't know, just really great how he exaggerates certain things to capture that movement. It's like he's leading with that right shoulder and stepping forward with the right leg or left leg. But anyway, then you have like this very sharp angles of this low poly 3D model. And I don't know if I totally hate it. And I'm interested to know why he did that, because I could see like if he makes the model and then can move around that space and everything's consistent to where it is, it's almost like moving a camera around a set. So I can kind of see that, but I don't know, it doesn't totally work with his style. So I don't know. I would ask him, like, why didn't you maybe build the model and then like trace it, and not like trace it the way modern illustrators do in DC Comics and Marvel Comics, but like in your style, like get it, the location, so then just freehand it off of that. I think that maybe would have worked better. But it is sort of worthless doing reviews of these books in a way, because you can't buy it. You didn't back it. But what I'll say is this: if you get a chance to pick up Foreign Agent, if you get a chance to pick up Earthbound, do it. They're great. This dude is a mega talent with like a very unique style, and you won't regret it. And if he comes out with a new campaign, back it, because he's that good. Anyway, so that is all. Thank you for watching Minnesota Comics Authority. Please leave comments or questions or anything, and hit subscribe or like. Anyway, see you later.